Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Santosh. In the previous video, we discussed about the introduction to Agentic AI. We have also went through one of the agenting framework called Autogen. Also, we discussed about the importance of LLM in the Agentic AI framework. And also, we went through a little bit sample code of how we can able to use the Autogen. In this video, we are going to discuss about one of the important features that the Autogen provide, which is a chart termination. Let's see how this will helpful while designing the agentic AI solution. For example, we designed some complex workflow where we have to define some certain condition, like whenever the agent encounters certain condition, it has to come out of the loop. So it should not continue the conversation. So this is where the chart termination functionality helps. So if you want to configure certain conditions and based on the condition, the agent has to terminate the conversation. So for example, let's have the scenario where you want to design support ticket management workflow and you have configured 5 different agents. One agent to read the ticket, another one is to classify the ticket, the third one would be used to extract the important information from the ticket, and the fourth one would be to resolve the ticket, and fifth one would be like if suppose resolution agent not able to fix the issue, then the escalation agent will route the message or route the query to the human agent. So this is how we can able to design support ticket management. So once we kind of design this support ticket management agent and we want to start the conversation where user sends the ticket. So once user sends the ticket, then ticket reader agent will read the ticket and forward that information to the classifier agent. Now the task for the classifier agent to analyze the ticket and classify the ticket either into the technical issue or general issue or any some other type of ticket types. So now classifier agent got confusion, like whether I have to classify the agent the given ticket as a general issue or the technical query or some other type of query. So due to that, classifier agent is kind of doing this one repeatedly and not able to come out of this loop. So where it is kind of classifying it as wrongly and getting the feedback, and this kind of continuing. Due to that, what happens, the entire agent's kind of stuck and it is waiting for the classifier agent to give the response. So in these kind of cases, if we kind of configure this chart termination functionality, then automatically classifier agent maybe tries 2 to 3 times. Whenever it kind of encounter some different kind of messages, then it automatically terminate the message and give the handover to maybe human agent, like that. So this is how the chart termination functionality helps to configure when to exit from the workflow. So let's see how we can able to configure this chart termination functionality using Autogen framework. In the previous video, we already introduced how we can able to import the Autogen, how we can able to install the Autogen, and we kind of tried a simple conversation with one of the agent that we created using Autogen framework. So now we will go through how we can able to configure this chart termination functionality using Autogen framework. So this is how we have to import the Autogen, and we are using conversible agent. So if you want to know more about the conversible agent, in the previous video we already discussed about this conversible agent. I will add that video in the end of the current video. You can able to refer later. So once we import the Autogen, the next thing is we have to configure the LLM which we want to use it. So if you are planning to use ChatGPT LLMs, then this is how you have to provide the configuration. The beauty of Autogen is it not only support the specific providers, it can able to support wide range of LLMs providers, for example ChatGPT, Gemini, Olama, etc. So depending on your availability, so your LLM availability, you can able to use the Autogen. So once you configure the LLMs, then the next thing is we have to configure the agents. So before going to that place, let's try to understand what are the different ways we can able to create this chart termination functionality using Autogen. So there are two ways you can able to configure this chart termination functionality in the Autogen. One would be using initiate chart. Another one is to configure within the agent, and agent automatically figure it out when to terminate the message, when to terminate the conversation. So in the initiate chart, what we can able to do is, before that, let's try to define the agents. So here we are kind of configuring two agents, Kathy and Joy. So these two agents are comedy agents. So here you can see we are giving the persona to the agent in the by using system message that, so you are kind of comedy agent and you are supposed to perform some comedy show. So once we define this agent, the next thing is we have to initiate the conversation between the agent. So if you notice, there is one configuration which we have it, maximum turns equal to 2. This is the one which will helps to control the conversation between these two agents. So if you mention 2, that means there is only 2 rounds of conversation happens between the Kathy and Joy. If you mention 3, then there is a chance of 3 rounds of conversation will happen between the Kathy and Joy. Let's see. So here you can see the conversation between Joy and Kathy happened only 2 rounds. So after Kathy replies back, then Joy didn't reply back to the Kathy. So that's how this maximum turns equal to helps to decide when to terminate the conversation. For example, here I mentioned maximum turns equal to 3. Sorry, it went a little down. So here you can see it has 3 rounds of conversation happened between Joy and Kathy, 1, 2 and 3. So I hope you can understand now that using maximum turns we can able to decide when to terminate the conversation. I mean to say, by how many rounds of conversation the chart or the conversation has to close it. So this is one way of configuring the chart termination functionality. As we already discussed, there is another way also, that is configuring within the agent itself. So here we can able to configure 2 ways within the agent also, how we can able to terminate the conversation. One would be maximum consecutive reply. Maximum consecutive auto reply. So that means the agent only replies back to the same sender 1 or twice. So this parameter we can able to configure. So if you mention 3, that means the particular agent will only reply to the same sender 3 times. That's it. So 4th time, whenever, even though the sender try to converse with the agent will not reply back to the sender. And each termination message is one more way of configuring this chart termination. Using this each termination message, we can able to configure within the agent that if the sender sends some particular kind of message, then don't reply to that agent. So you stop the conversation with the agent. So that is how each termination message helps us to stop when to stop the conversation. So let's see how we can able to configure this maximum consecutive auto reply. So here, while defining the agent itself, we can mention how many times you can able to reply to the same sender. If you mention 1, then there is only one conversation will happen with the same sender. So here you can see we can see, so we have kind of initiated the conversation with the Kathy. So then Joy only replied once to the Kathy. So even though Kathy sends the message, but Joy ignored that, because we are telling to the Joy that you have to reply to the same sender only once. So if you mention 2, then the Joy replied 2 times to the same sender. So this is one way of configuring within the agent. So the other way would be by using the each termination message functionality. So here you can see what we are telling. So if the sender, any sender sends the message that has the content goodbye, then automatically Joy stops conversing with that sender. So this sample message that I provided. So you can provide your own custom message, and whenever your agent receives that custom message from any sender, then it will stop replying back to that sender. So let's see how this one works. So now Kathy is telling to the, sorry, Joy is telling to the Kathy that, so Kathy, tell me a joke, and then say the word goodbye. So if the Kathy replies back with the word goodbye, then Joy stops the conversation. So here you can see Joy sends the message, and whenever Kathy replied with the word goodbye, then automatically Joy stops responding to the Kathy. So this is the way we can able to configure chart termination functionality using Autogen. I hope you can able to. I hope you understood the concept. So in the next video, we will go into the one more concept of Autogen, which will help us to design the better agentic workflow configuration. So thank you for watching the video. We will meet you in the next video. Thank you.